welcome back, Binder and Unreal Adventure fans, for another episode of Heinous the Adventurall. As you can see, things are changing and moving along. I've got the front clip back off and things all draped up like it's got curtains in it. So let me tell you what has happened in the last couple weeks, give you a quick update, and then maybe do just a hint of work today on it, but mostly just to get you all updated. Today is May 13th. We last filmed on the 30th, so it's been almost 2 weeks, but I did have the Holdens here for about a week. We rebuilt a Travelall for them real quick, and they're still heading eastbound and down back home to Texas. But anyways, after we finished and cameraman Joe went home, I got back to work on this thing. Pretty much got the bumper done except for throwing in the rear shackle mounts. I got the holes cut out for that, just have to slide those in. The hitch is done. I've got the corner guards done. I added some extra tubing to it, like on the side and underneath to strengthen that up. And then once I got done there, I moved on to the fuel tank. I built a little cage for that to give that first some full protection. And then I finally got the exhaust wrapped up. Got tailpipes running all the way out to the back here. And man, the last thing I got to do to that is just a couple of heat shields, and then really the exhaust system's like 100% knocked out. So pretty excited to have all that done. As I was trying to keep busy, I had some more parts arrive, and that's going to move us to the front of the vehicle, and I'm going to talk about that next. All right, so up front here, as you can see, there is a piece of jewelry from PSC Motorsports on the front of this thing. I got a hold of Tom, the owner of PSC, who rumor has it might be returning to Unreal Adventure this year. We'll find out for sure. But anyways, they were graciously enough to send me just a whole box of their steering components. I got, literally, no pun intended, I got this steering box. This is a GM style box designed for crossover steering. So got that. Took me I have well over a day, multiple pitman arms, test fitting, moving the box, trying to angulate it up here. I still have a shock tower from Barnes that's in the way. I got on the table modified. But anyways, finally yesterday, I got the box positioned where I want it and mounted in here. And, you know, that's it. That's how I'm going to have it. So in conjunction with the PSC steering box, they sent me one of their pumps. This is a model 1405. And they didn't have the one with the 6AN fitting in the back, so they sent that to me. It's just one less fitting I got to deal with, so I'll swap that out. For turning, they sent me one of their 6.75 inch Travelall rams, 1.5 inch diameter. And to hold all the fluid is one of their reservoirs, and this is also designed for the Hydro Boost system I've put on, so it's got an extra return fitting in there. So basically everything I need, including this vent right here. What a lot of people don't know about this, I like it, they call it an anti-splash pressure relief valve. It goes into the top of the reservoir. And what's nice about this, instead of just having it release into the atmosphere, this has a little bit of pressure behind it, and adding a little bit of pressure to it actually helps keep the fluid going into the pump and also alleviates any aeration of the fluid. Not that it won't happen if you're like totally work and overheat the system, but in the end, this does help with that. I've in the beginning didn't like have one on Hideous, but after like the first UA, I added one of these, and really it's worked great. So everything here I've got for the steering system, with the exception of the cooler, which I will pick one up down the road once I know how much space I have to mount one. So with that said, let me show you what else I got done in the past week. All right, so while in the middle of doing the steering system over the weekend, I ran into a problem where I needed a different pitman arm, and I couldn't source one, obviously, over the weekend. So being that, I have, I don't know how many days at this point. I didn't check this morning, but we have less than 3 months before the start of UA. I need to keep busy. So I ended up just hopping into the interior, and I started bending up some of the roll cage for it. What I've got here, this is actually the B hoop, and this is the C hoop. This was actually the B hoop, and after I bent it up, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. So I ended up just cutting it down, and I moved it into the C position and then bent up a new B hoop for it, which I like a lot better after wrestling it around anyways. It was a good warm-up back on the tubing bender here to just get reacclimated to it. But started doing the cage, and again, this has been one of the things I've been racking in my head, like, how am I going to get this done to where I can kind of get it out, but also, you know, I got to be able to weld it up. And anyways, I had those questions in my head, and at the same time, I'm also like, man, when am I going to get this thing lizard skinned on the inside too? So I had started these two hoops, and then I'm like, man, if I don't actually get the roof done now, it may never get done. So stopped what I was doing, made a quick call to the shop, got Travis down here, came in yesterday morning. He got the whole ceiling sanded down, a little bit of the interior. We got some zero rust and sprayed in there to kill what rust was in there, and it also acts as the base foundation for the lizard skin. This morning he came in, knocked out the first coats, and hopefully in the next couple days the skin will be done on ceiling on the inside and some of the rear floor. And I figure once I build the cage in there, I'm going to build the rear section, and it'll probably never come out again. You know, I'll probably just like be able, the way I'm designing it, I should be able to shove it forward and down, be able to finish welding it and put it back and probably paint it in place and then shove it back into the back. And then the front section is going to be made up of at least 2, maybe 3 sections to be removable. But I should be able to like build it with the tube couplers I usually use from TMR Customs. And then from there, I'd be able to take it out. And then I can have Travis come back and finish lizard skinning the front floor of it. I'm not really doing the back floor because the rear floor is removable. I'll have some heat shield products on that underneath. But for lizard skin, just a little bit in the back, the whole front section, the ceiling, and that should keep this thing pretty quiet. And then for those not knowing what I mean by A hoop, B hoop, or A pillar, B pillar, on a vehicle, the very front windshield frame pillar, that's called the A pillar. The next would be a B pillar, the C pillar, and the D pillar. So that's what I mean by that. And then again, when you're bending up some hoops and stuff, you're just calling it the A hoop, the B hoop, the C hoop, the D hoop. Just if you're working with other guys or they're helping you and you're like, hey man, go work on the D hoop for me. They know what I'm talking about. So anyways, for those not in the know, that's what all that means. All right, so that's everything that I've gotten done in the last, couple weeks or so. Next up, I'm going to throw this Borgeson shaft in between these 2 Borgeson joints. I'd gone over to the IHPA shop over the weekend and robbed some of the joints I needed. I'm going to put that collapsible shaft in, and then we'll see if I did okay on the shock tower or not, how I notched it for clearance. If not, either I weld up what I cut out and start over, or get a new tower, or I don't know. We'll find out in a bit. Stay tuned. All right, so when you're doing the Borgeson joints, one of them on the D side always goes, that pin will go all the way through on the set screw, and then this side just indents into it. So I always like to put a little relief there. And then even though they put a relief here, they didn't do one there, I like to anyway. It's just a little extra add insurance that the shaft never comes out. All right, let's go finish up that chalk tower now and see if it's gonna work. All right, so I've got this inset in here, and I don't know, I'm looking at it from here, and I don't know. Let's see. I had a piece of masking tape going from point A to B going across this and marked it. So either I'm on or I'm off. Let's go find out. Of course, it helped if I went from the right side, but I'm gonna go with Wah, wah, wah. So my angle's pretty good, but it looks like a straight line just isn't going to do it. I mean, I could go a deeper cut maybe, I don't know. But angle's close, hard to say. It's right there. Well, I had a feeling this might happen, and of course, I totally neglected to grab what I need this morning, but it's very obvious I'm going to have to make this thing go around. So this isn't going to go. Wish I didn't just cut it down, but I did. It's still usable. But yeah, that looks like what I'm going to have to do. So with that said, it means I got to run back up to IHPA, get a couple more Borgeson joints, and maybe some different double D shaft to get this thing relocated. But until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully you got your application in for UA 2026. I'm not sure if it's too late yet. I have no idea. That is something beyond my control. But until then, it's going to be at least a few more weeks again before Joe shows back up. He's going on vacation. I'm going to keep busting on this. Hopefully Travis keeps coming back in here and gets this knocked out. We get some roll cage done, a bumper on it. We'll see what happens. So stay tuned. Check back next time, and we'll see what I get done in the next few weeks. Till then, I'm off to IHPA to get some joints. I was going to wait till that shuts off. It ruins my concentration.